were discussing the revelation, well, maybe not revelation, that we got from the Oyo State head of NAPTIP, and talking about how some mothers are involved in taking loans from financial institutions to send their children. This is relocation for education is different from trafficking. This is trafficking. Trafficking is when you are aware that there might be, they are going to go and do...
There might be dangers.
Yes. It's a dangerous terrain. It's not a formal job relocation. It's not a formal relocation. It's not you're getting passport, you're getting visa. They're not processing visa or anything. They're taking them by bus via road to enter into some different areas. People might die. And the expected job is they will be a maid, or in most cases, they even know they will be sexually abused.
I want to defend the mothers. I don't believe that they know exactly what their kids will go to.
Some of them lie, yes. Some of the...
Apart from them being lied to, you know, you think that we are sending our kids to boarding school because we believe that when they come out, they become better persons. But if some of us see the video of what happens in boarding school, you go keep a picking for armpits. Not even inside house. You go hide them inside bank. You go protect her. Because we really don't know. Somebody has gone and made a success of it. You know, when Benin was trendy, people thought, no, every Benin girl was loose. Yeah. Their mothers didn't see. When the government made it a point of orientation to play the videos, to recount, give the girls stories.
Shivering inside the cold.
Mothers thought, is this what... You see families fighting families. Not be you can't carry my pikin talk, say, go abroad, go wash. Now, plate you wash. You know, when people saw the outcome of what their kids were going through, there are still victims among these mothers who think this life is not easy. Some are in polygamous marriages. They can't even talk to their daddy. Daddy is not providing food. You are mother and father inside your marriage to your children. And the mother will say, okay, let me go and meet my brother and sister. Some will send their kids to Lagos to come and be washing plates in bukas from this same Oyo. Yes, don't we see those stories? Yeah, so when you look at buka and in Oyo and buka in abroad, you choose one. Yes, because that's the reality. And it's not just economic. We make victims of our vulnerable as Nigerians. Nigerians go abroad. Somebody sat in abroad there to collect money from them under the guise of admission and jobs, and stole all of their pounds and left them on the streets in London. Oh yeah, they never cross. Is this still Nigeria economy? So we know that we must change our mentality as a people and not just blame a set of people.
Not blaming the mothers.
Not blaming governments alone, not blaming the mothers alone. The circumstances are different. When I was growing up, I used to think what my mother used to say was a general thing until I saw some Auchi girls who actually were also willingly trafficking themselves, or boys willingly going. They would go as far as Ghana just to call it abroad. Whereas when we were growing up, it was a thing against my parents' values. I was 21 before I could spend a holiday outside of my house. We never visited anybody or stayed in anybody's house. They covered their children like beds. Wood. That's how my parents, they will say, no, now wait till if I chop sand, my pikin chop sand. I drink garri, my pikin drink garri, better for me. They will cover. But when I grew up, I saw that it was different outside. People would do anything and their circumstances varied. You cannot generalize.
You're from Abuja. So sorry, Titi.
So I'm going to agree with Nyma to a large extent in the sense that we don't have to blame our mothers, but some of the mothers are not educated. So their kids go there, lie to them,
most of them,
and tell them that this is it. You know, maybe if they have a friend, just like I mentioned earlier. I remember there was a story that was trending. This one, it was her friend that took her. There's an agent. There's always somebody that does all the processing and everything.
It's a business.
The agent, yes. So the agent took her. This country was India. This was, they harvested her organ. They removed one of her kidneys, and then they left one. And then when they caught the guy said, she can walk, she can actually function with only one kidney. She can function with that. Justifying the reason, like making it like, oh, it's okay for him to laugh. He stole her organ now. She didn't give it to him, you stole it. And then, you know, they had to now start thinking of how to bring her. But it was all over the news that time, and it was a very serious...
It's not one, you're stating this one.
So many.
I know so many.
Yeah.
I think we need to.
So I think we need to start educating the mothers. You know, we educate the mothers and also the people, the girls, the boys that do all of these things, that go for all these things. It's all this fast money. Poverty is happening everywhere. It's everywhere. It's all over the world. But we need to be conscious of ourselves and make sure that we are taking good care of ourselves to avoid things like this.
All right, Emmanuel from Kano, welcome to the show. Emmanuel, are you there? Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Kano. Quite an interesting topic you have. I would also like to tilt towards what Nyma was saying. So most times when we talk about human trafficking, we're always looking at it from the angle of whether from Nigeria to either an African country or a European country. It happens a lot within Nigeria, even from the local place to a nearest urban city. You know, and I really wouldn't want to see it from the angle where people think parents are aging. Every parent wants the good and growth of their children, you know, and even within the Nigerian space, many parents have had to send their children or take their children from public government schools to private schools and pay heavily from their nose, not because they are waiting for their children to become their HTM, but they will look at the circumstance that, okay, even within Nigeria, Nigerian university, you say you want to go to the government university. Your child spends 8 years, 9 years, instead of the normal 4 years. Why won't you just add up that money and put them in a private, though very expensive school? If all spares, I repeat, if all spares were working and every ministry or parastatal is held accountable, we won't have all this mess we're having right now. You know, every parent, I still repeat, yes, we know there are minute parents who willingly, they know what is going to be happening there. They have friends who, their friends' children are there who have even told them XYZ had happened. But they will still want to do that and that's a mom will die or anything. But in fairness, every parent is even out to make their children comfortable, because that is even the best thing you can do for your children. You are sending your children to school or buying shares on their behalf. It's not because you want them to help you. You might not even be there to enjoy that, but you are leaving this world knowing that at least you gave your children good education. You dropped some money for them. You gave them legacy, value of life. Whether they give you in turn, which sometimes they don't do even with these Gen Zs now. They'll tell you, your own time don't pass, nothing concerns me. So parents shouldn't also take, government should take the blame. They should, yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for bringing us to government, because for me, I think that we can't take away the government's hat here. I liked the caller earlier who spoke about how people used to come from Ghana to, we had Ghanaian teachers when I was in primary school teaching in my school. People, even up until last year, majority of our tailors, our fashion designers, the tailors were from Ivory Coast. They were from, and many of them went back last year when the idea of when subsidy went and dollar was, Naira was devalued. They felt like if I'm in my Ivory Coast, what I'm earning from Nigeria is not worth sending there. The value of their money had gone higher than Nigeria, so they just went back home. I have many fashion designer business owners who lost all their tailors who went back home because of the economy here. So if the economy here is good, if business is going well, if food is available, if your money has value in the market, do you really think that parents will be considering sending their children abroad? Maybe we should address the fact that there is poverty, and poverty has led to increase in number of people being trafficked, regardless of the risk they are willing to take it.
Yes, I don't think the apple will fall far from its tree, because yes, government has a blame. But in all of it, my own is the family unit, the functional family unit. There are a lot of things we dump on the neck of the government that even we are convinced that the government might not attend to it. And this government that it starts from choosing empathetic leaders. So it takes us back to our kind of electoral system. It takes us back to the kind of people, the kind of leaders we put in position to lead us. And when you now begin to talk about, okay, it's hard everywhere. People go to the UK and complain before they even get their feet to balance. I mean, since few weeks back, let me say, at my perfume store, we've been looking for a cleaner. We had one who said, oh, she wanted to go and invest in a handcraft. She makes hair, so she left. And even when we're willing to pay the minimum wage, we are still not finding somebody who wants to clean. I mean, so sometimes it's like, but there's work now. We're not seeing the person that will do it. But people will keep saying there's no job. So what's the correlation? No matter how little, I think one of the things that we also grew up understanding was contentment. Yes, it's not everybody that wants that big money, as much as some people aspire for $500 million and this and that. But some just want to live in the space of their comfort, have the things that they can afford, the basics. One of my friends now used to make a prayer that may the basic not become luxury. Agree, that's why it falls on the government. But it's just like you saying that I decided to go and give birth in a private hospital when there is a government hospital. I decided because I had my own conviction why I don't want to go to government. So it's the same thing like keeping your children here, weighing the prospects. Is it not better you keep a child here that you can monitor, you can talk to, other than the one that might not even call you in 3-6 months, and after like a year, you're already giving up, maybe he's even dead. And our Yoruba people will say, so sometimes they are just in between. But I think that every parent, yes, education is good, but please, anywhere that your eye did not reach. Ibadan, that I took my son to is because I have people in Ibadan. That if they say something happen, I can call 1 or 2, 5 people. Please help me run. I won't risk it. I won't. So we should stay within the limit of the risk we can contain.
Let's take Ade as our final caller on this topic. Ade from London, welcome to the show. So sorry we missed that.
So let me interpret for Rama's sake. My child lost. Better say my child died. Better say my child lost. Yeah, because child will lost, you will never have closure. You'll be looking for the child.
That's what she was saying. We'll take a quick break right now. The long and short of this show, the part discussing this trafficking is because we just want to raise awareness, because we believe that genuinely most of the mothers and parents who are supporting this human trafficking, which is where people's children are taken to become sex slaves, organ donors without their own permission, and taken as slavery, just pure slavery generally, is what we're dealing with. And those are the ones we want you to be aware of, not the legal migration. So, of course, we want the government to do what they can, but we also want parents to be aware of what they are using their children to do. That's what we can take on this. That's
you have a call on you, or show you have work. Show them what is happening.
It's all over the